Hi everyone, it's Daisy, and for our project today, we'll be doing a project on Darth Vader. It's a portrait of him in monochromatic tones. That means a single color, so I'll be focusing all the gray tones onto this one, and it will be in markers. So here we go. I start this image by drawing the outline to the bottom of his helmet from the back to place his face and his settings. I'll create a center line down the middle to divide the face into half. There's a lot of detail that's left and right in this particular portrait. Now I'll bring in the sides of the face helmet, you can call it, or the mask, and start working towards bringing them in towards the eye area so that I can build those up. Creating the outside line allows me to put in the parallel line that I would need on the inside of the helmet. I take a lot of time to create these lines because it's important that they be very consistent and not waver. Did my left and now I'll do my right. There's a little bit of a difference between the two sides. The left side has a bit of a curve on the edge, as you can see. Now I go towards creating the face itself. So starting from the chin and setting an outline for the sides to the face portion of the mask. Create the basic outline to the eye. I do not draw all details right away, as I want to make sure that everything sits accurately, and in case I need to change, it's easier when you don't have a whole lot of work to change out. Now the ventilator to the bottom. Again, just drawing outlines, just creating shapes, not trying to set anything more than that. The nose. At this point, I have a good setting to put in the bottom of the eyes. Once I put the eyes in, now I'll address the top of the eyes one more time, as it is not what I had originally made. It doesn't sit as well right now. With the eyes drawn, I can get rid of my prelim outline for the eyes that I had created at the top. That goes away, and at the same time, what I want to do is reassess the sides of the helmets. How far are they from the face? Do I need the size to be as big? And all the rest of it. I put in the parallel line over the entire eye, which is very typical of the face profile for Darth Vader. Extending from this parallel line, I can reassess my sides and see if it's accurate as to where I want it. So on his right side, you can see that I'm making a really big change now. This is one of the bigger rules in drawing. As you put in one portion of the drawing, you have to step away from it to reassess everything because it affects everything else in the drawing. Now we're going to go and create the upper part of his helmet. Everything goes from one is to the other. That means to say that the side lines extend upward and they curve over the eye itself. So again, things are so interconnected that you need to address every little part of it. In the very center of his helmet is almost like a box shape that divides the left and the right portion of his helmet. Extend up from the right side and from the left side. I never make a line right away. I create what I see. So I know there's vertical lines from the sides, but now the curve that comes to meet the vertical lines, I'm going to take it from the center, and I'm making sure that the proportion is right of the top of my helmet. So a little readjusting, and now I'll create the curve. So it's not neat. You don't always have to feel like you have to draw what you see in one go. You can break a segment of your drawing into multiple lines just to understand angle, chisel, shapes, everything. Once the top's complete, I'm going to take myself to work on the lower portion of the face and the body. So we haven't created any part of the neck or the shoulders and how they would fit in with everything else. So I'm lifting up the back level of the helmet because it feels a little bit too long at this point, now that so much has been drawn in. Remember, rule of thumb, for everything you draw, for everything you paint, it will start changing and creating the subject and your composition. Always step away at multiple points to see how you like things and how they're progressing. Working from the neck to the shoulders. I'm happy with the face at this point, so I can set in a few more details. And so I'll erase off the center guideline that we had created, and I'm going to go and make the details on the ventilator. Again, I'll keep it very simple. I'm not going to put down every single detail. A lot of it I do in the process of coloring. I'm drawing in the cheek triangles, and I'll be putting in a few more of the more prominent light areas or the bright areas on the mask sections that based on how the light falls on them become more prominent. One of the things that Miss Mona Brooks always shared in her thoughts was we want to teach kids how to draw with a single line and not chisel the line out, because it gives them more confidence in the strokes that they're creating in their drawing. So it breeds confidence. I've seen a lot of kids, big and small, feel like they can do a sketching motion on a line that they're drawing, but it feels like there's no clarity of what the drawing actually looks like, and that isn't ever good because you need to know exactly what shapes you're working with. So food for thought, consider that, because it honestly is a good way to go. Start encouraging it at a young age. It won't feel too much as their habits are formed, and it will be a good habit that they'll carry forward with them. Like I said, not too many lines. I'm moving on to my colors now. In this recording of the Darth Vader project, our coloring is going to be monochromatic. The best way to approach this coloring is to start with the lightest tones. Now, white would be the lightest one because it's the shine effect. Following that is my pale blues, the 10% grays, and so on and so forth. So I typically stick with all the cool colors here, and I keep applying them. So I might use up to like 5 to 6 different shades just to do this. And my last color on it would be black, with which I would just define everything around it. The process is one of understanding the image and to see the colors as they are, apply them according to from lights to darks. So I hope that helps in the process of watching this video.